Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, this is Madden NFL 21 on EA Sports. As we'll see Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins versus Cam Newton and the New England Patriots.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. The excitement brewing here in South Florida. As a moment ago, the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the New England Patriots. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Out come the New England Patriots, led by their 6'5" veteran quarterback, Cam Newton.
And when he's at the top of his game, you see that big smile. That's when you know everything is clicking. That means he's accurate throwing the football. They can't get him down in the run game, and his team is having a whole lot of fun because when they score a touchdown, some fan's going to get lucky and get the game ball.
Here we go. Nice hit it.
Newton on first down. Open man is Asiasi, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
On first and 10, Newton gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Pretty good start right off the bat there with throws 1 and 2.
He's not locking in on just one target early, is he? Spreading it around a little bit as this game gets started.
Back-to-back first downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A play fake to Michelle, now Newton. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. The Dolphins now taking the field, led by the 5th overall pick back in April out of Alabama. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa.
And absolutely love this young man coming out of the University of Alabama because of what he did for the Crimson Tide. His last year there, 33 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions before the hip injury suffered in the middle of November. They want him healthy, obviously, because if so, one of the most accurate throwers coming out of college football in the last 10 to 15 years. And the Dolphins, they haven't taken a quarterback in the top 5 since a guy named Bob Greasy, now a Pro Football Hall of Famer. They took him back in 1967.
After the turnover, it's Tua. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's the first carry from Matt Breida. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as he'll be left with a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Tua. Throw left side, complete. That's Grant. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. From the left hash, this from 37. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Cam Newton and the Patriots set to go again on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Cam going to bring the Patriots up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is Sony Michel. He grew up a few miles north of here. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run it. This is Michel. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that's caught by his tight end, Dalton Keene. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And he'll get this down close to a 1st down at about the Dolphins' 37. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Newton. That'll be taken in by Demir Bird. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Running out of the gun with White, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll set up to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now the former Washington Husky, here's Myles Gaskin. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. And give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run now with Gaskin. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Now thrown to Parker, complete on the slant. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 40. Tua to Parker there for the Miami first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Running out of the gun here, Breida. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he'll go underneath here to Breida. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep for the Patriots, Gunnar Olszewski. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On 1st down, it's Newton. Catch is made by Harry. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you say, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. From the gun, they run with Michel. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Now Newton. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line. Now Michelle. On the tackle there, Zach Sealer out of Ferris State.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Newton. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll turn to Michelle as they go back to the ground. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rush will just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 3rd down, Michelle. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Newton. Demir Bird, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. And that'll be caught by the tight end, Keene. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Newton. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Jacoby Myers there to make the grab. And the Patriots have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Nick Folk for the point after. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Gaskin, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Dolphins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt, and the Patriots take over. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. He'll find his tight end here, Asiasi. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 16 yards, a 1st down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. And that one complete to Keene, the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They will run with White out of the shotgun. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
New England on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Newton. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Now the 2nd-year punter, Jake Bailey, on for New England. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again on offense, here's Devontae Parker now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. This is Gaskin on the carry, and he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Tua sets up to pass it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time, they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Tua. And over the middle, this is Parker. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro Stephon Gilmore. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
They'll run on first down. Michel had a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They defer to White out of the shotgun, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
New England on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Got his man, that's Harry. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
On 2nd and 1, Newton. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the Patriots are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. They'll try and run it with White. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
On 2nd and goal, Newton. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Devin Asiasi there to make the grab. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. And he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
On for the extra point is Folk. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. And they'll begin by running the option. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Pretty good first down play. Keeps them ahead of schedule, as they say.
And ostensibly, they could go right back to it because there are multiple options on this play. Handed inside, quarterback tucks it and keeps it, quarterback throws the ball downfield. You should be able to react to the defense and have an option available on every snap.
Out of the shotgun, Breida. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Tua going to throw. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to pass. Tua. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. They begin with Michel on the ground, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
A play fake to Michel, now Newton. He's going to launch this thing way down and got his man complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
On 1st down, Newton. Got a man open, that's Harry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Open man is Asiasi, the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. To the air again, Newton. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Newton throwing again. This will be caught at about the 5. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
Here we go. Here we go. What is it? Coming for the sun. I'm coming for the sun.
Throwing again is Newton. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Cam Newton with his third touchdown pass of this first half. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now Folk for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is Jakeem Grant. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here first and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 11 yards there, first down. Tua now on first down. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. And again, it's Tagovailoa. Now thrown to Parker, complete on the slant. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. It was an excellent first half from the former league MVP, Cam Newton. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. This will make it into the end zone. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up first and 10 at their 25-yard line. Breida to get the third quarter started. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Tagovailoa to throw on second down here. Brought in over the middle by Grant. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Tua finding Gesicki there for a Dolphin first.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
35's the mic. You don't see me again.
On play action, here's Tua. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. He had no options downfield there and just chucked it out of bounds.
There was no one open. He was in the pocket. Where was the intentional grounding call?
Oh, you wanted the flag.
Of course I did. I'm a defensive guy. You know that. Where was the flag? The officials point out that someone was in the area. He got away with one.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think, with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion, Newton and the Patriots with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They start the drive with White. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he's going to have the Patriots first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
Sony Michel comes out of a long line of terrific running backs from the University of Georgia and was a first-round selection for New England in 2018. He does not mind carrying the football, never turns down an opportunity. Top 10 in rushing attempts in the league in 2019.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, Newton. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Byron Jones. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They're running it. 35's the mic.
They'll run now with Gaskin. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 18 big yards on that one and a Miami first. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
On first down, Tagovailoa. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. On the return, it's Taylor. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. New England trying to get a place on offense. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting in a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Newton throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Newton on 3rd down. To Michel on the screen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
On 1st and 10, Newton toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jacoby Myers, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. He'll find his tight end here, Asiasi. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From the 50, Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's White. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
The Patriots send out their punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Miami set to take over. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
35 to
He'll throw from the gun. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Matt Breida out of the backfield. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, it wound up losing yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
35 to Mike. Here we go.
From the gun, it's Tua. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They fake the handoff, now Tua. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Switch it. Yeah, switch it.
On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Tua now on first down. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious, so you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
On first down, Michelle. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Newton. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Newton. He'll get this into the hands of Bird. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 19. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. A shotgun snap for Newton. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Devin Asiasi there. And now it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Third quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. This is White on the screen. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
Well, that 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will make it into the end zone. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
35 to Mike. Ready, go.
Tua sets up to pass it. Throwing it at traffic there, and that's complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
35 to Mike.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Your trick is here.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the 2nd half.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Second and 11 now. From the gun, Newton. That's complete into the hands of Myers. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Open man is Asiasi, the tight end. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Back now in Miami. We get set for the fourth quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go. 55 my guy. 55.
They'll run it. This is Michel. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The pass complete. It's Bird. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now Michel. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On second down, this is Harris. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Operating from the gun. Newton got his man. That's Harry. And he will have a Patriots first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
first down. Michelle, and he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And it's Michelle once again. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Newton. Flushed out right. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They snap it to Newton. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Here we go. Running! Touchdown, defense.
On 1st down, Michelle. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Again, it's Michelle. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the gun, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 17. And this one will be brought back to the 22. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. After the turnover, it's Tua. Now thrown to Parker, complete on the slant. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
35 to Mike. Let's get it together,
On 2nd down, Tua. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion, Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Tua setting up shop to throw again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. And again, it's Tagovailoa. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Kyle Duggar, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and it's 3rd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, it's Tua. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Throwing now is Tagovailoa, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, and it's 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. 2 to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and run for it. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. At first glance, I wasn't sure he got it. Then I saw that spot. Definitely a 1st down.
It was, but boy, on the other side, you dispute it a little bit, wouldn't you? Okay, if you're playing defense, are you sure he got there? But that's why they tell you all the time, don't just get what you need, get a little bit more, and take the decision out of the hands of the officials.
Oh, there he needed a yard. He got a yard and maybe an inch. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Mike 35, Mike 35. You remember me?
Here's Gaskin. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the 4th quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki on the pass from Tua Tagovailoa. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays. But the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback, and when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is secured by the Patriots. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. New England trying to get to place on offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. First down, here's White. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So Tua and the Dolphins down by 10, just over a minute 40 to play. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery, but first things first. 1st and 10. Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Back to throw is Tua. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Tua. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Mac Hollins the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa looking to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. It was the veteran Devin McCourty. You got a hand in there to break that one up.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Tagovailoa. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow.
Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. So with exactly a minute to play, here comes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game, 1st and 10 here. The Patriots in the victory formation as they'll take the knee. And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. And with that, we sign off from Miami.